Here's another movie that was actually better than the book. Pedro Páramo. This one might be a little bit controversial to say the movie is better, so let me explain. According to this interesting list published by Book Riot, Pedro Páramo by Juan Rulfo is the book from Mexico that has been translated into the most different languages around the world. The book was published in 1955, and Netflix adapted a movie version that came out in late 2024, directed by Rodrigo Prieto. Although this is Rodrigo Prieto's directorial debut, he has many credits as a cinematographer, including Frida, 8 Mile, Brokeback Mountain, Barbie, and multiple collaborations with director Martin Scorsese, including The Wolf of Wall Street, Silence, The Irishman, and Killers of the Flower Moon. As for Pedro Páramo, after I read the book first and then watched the movie, I was a little bit torn about which one I liked better. Both the book and the movie are told non-chronologically, giving us little pieces of the puzzle to put together as the story goes along. Also, being an early literary example of magical realism, combining ideas about life and death from indigenous Mexican spirituality and Spanish Catholicism, you don't always know which characters are alive or dead. Some moments in the story did hit better on paper, but overall, the movie is just easier to follow. It's a very faithful adaptation in terms of what happens in the plot. The visuals and the transitions between scenes help the viewer a lot to understand the cacophony of characters and the constant jumping back and forth between places in the timeline. Simply being able to see which character's face is talking and how old they look really helps put the pieces together. The movie also does a good job of leaning in to the horror elements of the story. They don't simplify it or reduce it to a jump scare thriller. It simply has some nice moments of creepy tension and surreal visual effects. Tenoch Huerta Mejía performs really well in these scenes with how he reacts. Similarly, Manuel Garcia-Rulfo performs really believably as the title character, Pedro Páramo. You really believe he has all the emotions he's showing, and somehow he's sympathetic, despite all the horrible stuff he does. In the end, I have to give the slight edge to the movie. It just works better.